So this morning we took a little hike up to the ridge where we could overlook 1,000 right behind my head there, and Garnet. And where we stayed a couple weeks ago was right in there. And now we're looking at it from a whole different angle. It's beautiful up here. Okay, quick little tour here from when we were on the JMT a couple years ago. We came from Shadow Way over there. We came up over this ridge. We came down, I'm guessing maybe down here, down to the water, across the bridge over there on Garnet, back up about here, and before we started to climb, that's where that goat trail is. We climbed up and over the back there, came behind that, behind this, and then up to 1,000. And then when we left 1,000, we stayed way up here when we were at 1,000. When we left 1,000, we went back over this way and then came up over behind there. I'm forgetting right now what that area is called back there. We continued on this way, back behind all of that, and then Donahue Pass is back this way in some direction. It might possibly be right there, but I think it's more to the left. And then can't see anything more of our path there. But it's really kind of cool to look at it from way up at this perspective. Okay, Dave just pointed out something that gets my attention. Look way out there, and I'm gonna zoom in. We're thinking that's got to be Whitney. Wow, does that look huge from way back here. I think that's a couple 100 miles away. Probably not as the crow flies, but whew. See you in a couple weeks. So Dave's gonna do one other little up to get another perspective that I don't feel the need to do. I know we got a long way out today, but I was thinking about some of the things that I hadn't mentioned along the way that I think are worth remembering myself. One of which is I glissaded yesterday. I don't think I mentioned that earlier. Well, maybe I did. That was kind of fun. I also ripped my pants. Some of these steps I've had to take are like further than my pants wanted to give. So I got a big rip in the back of my pants. It's not bothering me, which is why I forgot, I think, to mention it. But the big thing is we went up to 11,600 feet, and part of this prep, or part of this trip for me, was to get used to the altitude. I haven't felt anything altitude-wise, like no headache, no nausea. I'm worried about doing Whitney in 2 weeks or a week and a half now, but I'm glad that I've felt no altitude impact so far on this trip. Last night when we got back to camp, I didn't take any more pictures or video or anything. We were just wiped out. We ate. We were in bed by 6 in tents, and I think I was actually asleep by 8. Slept really hard all the way through to 6 o'clock this morning, which was great. I wasn't waking up at every little sound wondering if it was a bear, like I sometimes do. So this morning we came up, hit this peak. Again, Dave is doing a little bit higher, just to look down at our view from yesterday. I'm coming down slowly just so I can, ease into the rest of this. But that's Iceberg Lake way in the back over there. Okay. So I thought I was hearing things, because I heard people talking, and the sound carries crazily up here. And I just found them. They're way down there. And I don't see them right now, but I just saw them a second ago. I was hearing things. Things I've learned. I'll probably do various little clips as they come to my mind, but a couple weeks ago, someone was asking me what I had going on, and I said I was going to climb Mount Ritter, and they said, like real mountain climbing? And I said, oh, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know what real mountain climbing means to you, but to me, I'm thinking ropes and all that equipment that I don't even know what it's called. So I said, no, we'll be going up a trail. And so they're like, oh, okay. I felt like it wasn't as impressive that way. Well, last couple of days I've learned one thing about cross-country hiking or backpacking is there's no trail to begin with, and that's just cross-country. That's not even, you know, climbing peaks or mountains or anything. Like right now, what I'm on is just cross-country. It's you're just kind of making your way through, and sometimes you find it more pleasant like this right here, and other times not. Part of what you find that was also new to me, and at least vocabulary, if not experience, but definitely experience too, was scree. I kept hearing about scree. And so what I think scree is now is small rock. Doesn't matter what kind of rock, but small enough that you know when you step on it, it's going to move. And you know that you're going to have a loose footing, but you have no choice anyway, so you just kind of deal with it. I didn't take video of me crossing scree because I didn't want to have a hand on my camera. But that's different from talus. Talus is the larger rocks, not just rocks like what we see here, but when they're just all piled on top of each other. Talus, to me, is rocks that you don't expect to move, but they might anyway. So yeah, talus versus scree. Another thing I learned was I don't think I'd want to be doing talus in trail runners, you know, like ultras or that kind of thing. Maybe people do, but I think those are for the, you know, the through hikers that are hiking on trails, and they're good for that. Scree, maybe, you know, with gaiters, you might be okay with trail runners, but I felt like I was just in ankle breaker territory all day. And if I didn't have my boots, that would have been, I think, a lot harder. Downside is my boots are fine on trail, blister wise, but I ended up getting a blister on my heel going through all that talus, because there's just no sure-footedness at all about it, so you put a lot more stress and strain on your foot and your sock and whatever. So something else I learned. Bother with your hiking poles while you're on talus. I ended up collapsing mine all the way down because I knew I was just going to break it, like I did a couple weeks ago when I found a little bit of talus on another trip. Better just to try to stay balanced and have your hands ready if necessary. Perspective. I was 100% sure I was going to climb that mountain and get to the top. And I think such is life, is perspective. We get different experiences and learn. But I had no idea what I was in for to get there. I really honestly thought there was a trail to the top. I didn't know what talus and scree were. I didn't bring my micro spikes. I thought snowfields, you know, I don't know. I just had no idea to give them the respect that I now hold for them. So having the perspective of what we did yesterday, it's interesting that I can feel incredibly accomplished even though I did not summit Ritter. I learned a lot. It was a heck of an experience, and I think my goal initially was just naive. But I feel good about yesterday. I was talking to Dave, and I think he's the one who said, well, if the goal's naive, then it's kind of hard to feel like a failure. Sometimes the best way to go down is to go up a little bit. Other times, the best way to go up is to take a step down. I don't think there's a good place for egos on the mountain. And I think yesterday, in hindsight, I'm really pleased that I stopped when I did. And Dave, I think, felt similarly, where we got to where it got sketchy. I felt fear twice, two different moments, and they were just kind of fleeting moments, but it was like actual fear. And it's just nice to know that we're wise enough to have assessed the situation, realized that even though we really wanted to come back and say we had summited Ritter, it wasn't wise to do so. And there's comfort that I have for having made the decision to not risk, be risky and be safe. Duct tape is your friend. Let me see if I can see it here. thought I'd stop, get a little bit of this waterfall right there. We are right down at Ediza Lake. We wanted to go around that side there and then pick up the trail on the other side of the lake to head to the bottom of the lake down there. But we may end up going off to the left there and scrambling over Talus and Scree again like we came in. There's a mule train over here. We saw there's a big camp here on the way in. We met Kelly the cook. They had a whole bunch of people and lots of equipment. Looked comfy. Anyway, Ediza is a pretty place.
They just appeared out of the desert.
Introducing Kelly the cook, our trail angel on this trip. Nice fresh cantaloupe. Thank you, Kelly.
And an OJ chaser if you want it.
Right on. Last moments at Ediza before we head down to Shadow. Between Ediza and Shadow, this is very Lundy Canyon-esque to me. I think Emily would love it here. I'm thinking maybe that water over there, gorgeous waterfall, might be coming down from Cabin Lake up to the left. Shadow Lake. I think Shadow Lake's one of those places Amanda would like. Nice big lake. Easy access. Here's some flowers for Emily. Right down inside of Shadow Lake. Two flowers. So we're often on the other side over there, looking towards Shadow and seeing the waterfall. Now, we're above the waterfall, seeing it fall down. Clearer today, we can see Mammoth on the way out. Lights we always look for, Agnew Meadows on the way back, knowing we're close to destination. One thing I haven't mentioned so far on this whole trip, I wanted to wait to see if I didn't jinx it, but I have not seen or heard one single mosquito, and that just baffles me and makes me really happy.